hypnosisproductreviews.com. Today I'm going to be interviewing my friend Mitch Miller, all the way from, I almost said Cambodia, but from Thailand. Give you a fair warning, he's kind of got a unique accent, which is the Canadian accent, so it's going to be kind of interesting. How's it going, Mitch?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm sorry if I sound too Canadian for you. I've been riding moose for the last 25 years and skinning wolves and making dream catchers in the forest. I finally crawled out of the wreckage to come speak with you today.
Perfect, but you're one of the people that have the beard, but you can actually do all the male stuff, right?
Yeah, I pluck my own chest hairs. I squirt lemon juice in my eye and then scream very loudly. Yeah, definitely a lot of man stuff.
Wow, that's very masochistic. I don't know. So I think we are our long lost brothers.
Awesome. I've been to Hawaii, man. I love it. I've been to where you are. It's amazing.
Kauai is a good place. It's expensive, but we get tourists all the time being like, "Well, isn't it expensive?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. Wouldn't you agree? If you're gonna be broke, might as well be broke here." I could have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Expense is all relative too. Yeah. It's fucking standard of life. It's like, what are you willing to? You can have a green screen, or you can watch Hawaii on TV, or you can actually be there. I don't think any place is expensive for what the value that you get for living there. Nothing beats that peace of mind. It's the cheapest peace of mind you'd ever buy.
I could still be in Detroit. I'm gonna see if I can. Don't worry, I'm not getting totally naked. You can see it. That right there, it's kind of hard to see. It's a stab wound I got from when I lived in Detroit. It's like, would I rather be here or back home in Detroit? It's I could have a lot more money in Detroit, but I might have had a couple more stab wounds.
Yeah. See, there's a difference. In Hawaii, now you get a stab wound accidentally at a luau because the fucking, whatever you were shanking the pig with, you guys are drunk and accidentally hit each other with it when you're playing Star Wars. But that's different. That's for fun.
Exactly. Now, the reason I want to interview Mitch, I've been wanting to interview him, is I think he's kind of like me, that he delves into two different worlds. He delves into the kind of the personal development, the NLP, probably a little bit of hypnosis, and in marketing. I think they go hand in hand. Now, can you give my audience a brief background about yourself, like how you got to where you are from your humble beginnings way back on the ranch?
So after I cut my teeth as a child, slaying moose or whatever, so I never went to high school because, well, to be honest, I was a fuck up. We'd rather have played music. It was fun. We were playing music, rock and roll, girls, drinking, having fun, playing shows all the time. We'd even play shows inside the school. We'd sneak into the basement of the high school and play. And when people would come down during the breaks or whatever, and they would skip school with us, hang with us. Even the teachers and the principals would come down to the basement and they would tell, what are you guys doing here? The teachers would, and we'd say, oh, we have permission from X person or the principal or whatever. We'd always say we had permission from this person. It was so convincing that they always let us play, and we always got away with shit. Anyway, after high school, we did the band thing even further, took it harder, went crazy with it, recording albums, playing shows, doing tours, trying to get signed, all of that. Lots of partying, too much partying. There was one night, I'm not going to get into details. This is a marketing business podcast, but basically there was many women involved, lots of drugs involved, and then my heart just kind of gave out and fucking wanted to stop. I had a heart attack, and I almost died right there in the hospital, and I didn't. And what was interesting is I was out of the hospital 3 days later. I'm a young kid, so it bounced right back, no problems, all good. And then I realized I need to change. I don't know how the fuck it happened. I knew I needed to change. It scared the shit out of me. And I was like, okay, I need to do different things. And it's not like I'm completely straight edge now. It's not like I don't have fun. It's not like, it's not like that at all. But now I have control over myself. And the other thing I didn't have is I was pretty much a dumbass too. So,
I was gonna say, hey, can you hear me? Sorry for interrupting. You say that you don't really you don't party as much as you used to, but you're in Thailand and you have all the lady boys over there, right?
Well, there are lady boys here. Not as many as you'd think, but they're here. Yeah, there's lady boys. I mean, it's like the running joke when you're going to Thailand, everyone's like, watch out for the lady boys. It's like, ha ha ha, man, the same fucking joke everyone says every 3 seconds. But I mean, they're there, and it's what's interesting is they're very nice people. It's like a third gender here. They're respected. But they're really nice. They're really nice people. Just if you don't want to sleep with a penis, then I recommend not hooking up with them. But they're totally cool as people.
And don't get super drunk either. But that's funny.
Yeah.
Out here in Hawaii, they're I don't say they're but transgender people, lady boys, whatever you want to call them. Sorry if I'm offending anybody, which it always happens. But it's totally different out here. People don't really. You get a couple people that get hurt about things. I'm like, it's very welcoming out here in the islands.
Yeah.
Well, I had to interject my smart ass humor. You want to get back to it?
Yeah, no, I mean it's amazing. I mean it's literally a third gender out here, and they're integrated into society. I even sound stupid fucking saying that. I mean, it's fine. There's no hang-ups. There's no weird things. If Canadian rednecks or American Midwest rednecks came out to Thailand, then they're going to be fucking assholes and douchey, and they're going to be like all fucking dumb and rednecky, like I was until after my heart attack when I decided to fucking change myself. And so I don't know how it happened. I mean, but this is the same for a lot of people, maybe even the same for you. But I came across Tony Robbins first. He's the first motherfucker. And I don't know how the hell I found him, but I mean, obviously he's everywhere. But was it Tony for you?
God, I used to have like severe depression or actually this will be the first time I think I've ever admitted it on the podcast. I think I was 21. At one point, I got suicidal. I was depressed as shit. Of course, it was over a girl. Just over some bullshit. Looking back now, I'm like, why would I even do that? But I think it was just a combination. I've always dealt with a lot of depression. I think I heard about this book. It was the magic of, or I think it was called the Magic Patterns. It was about Richard Bandler and John Grinder modeling different people, modeling Virginia Satir, etc. So I think it was actually the NLP people originally that got me interested, and then I started following through with Tony Robbins. His is more modern. I don't know if it's more modernized, but it's easier. It doesn't have all the jargon in it.
Yeah, it's basically just the few quick techniques that work and the mindsets, and then just go out and fucking apply them. You don't need to learn all of, you don't need to learn a whole entire philosophy or trading methodology. That's cool.
Now, how did you get into marketing? I don't know if you can kind of connect it to how does the personal development and the marketing, how did that all tie in for you?
Okay, so Tony Robbins taught us that if you want to be successful in life, you need to do the things that are of the highest leverage, the things that have the highest value. Find out who the best in the world at something is, and just do that, and learn from them, and learn from the top down, and all of these meta things, which is also what you learn, and which is a prime tenet of NLP. I mean, that the whole premise of NLP. I mean, people get so bogged down in the thing, but what matters is that all it is finding out someone who's an elite performer or has an elite behavior or whatever it is, and then how to model and replicate that for yourself and break down how they do it so that you can do it for yourself. And so it is, I mean, NLP is self-help at its core. But the way the marketing thing came about is Tony Robbins had an interview series on back in the late 80s, early 90s called Power Talk. And he'd interview different amazing minds from different backgrounds. And one guy that he interviewed was Jay Abraham, who is obviously one of the greatest marketing minds of this fucking century. And he interviewed him, and they drummed into my head the power of marketing, how fucking crazy leverage it is, the incredible money, the incredible prestige. I love that stuff too, right? I mean, especially as a young kid when you get business, I knew that it's a meta skill, like marketing. You can learn how to fucking twist this, do this. You can learn this little thing. You can learn this. You can learn to fucking SEO something, or you can learn all these little fucking bullshit things with business, or life or sales or anything you want to fucking learn in the business world. But marketing is that one meta thing that goes above them all the time. And so it transcends industry. it transcends business, it transcends fucking life. And so when I fully realized that marketing is truly everything, and that a person like myself who has severe, I don't know if I'd call it ADD. I'm lazy. I'm fucking defiant. I hate rules. I hate being stuck to something. If I want to switch something up, I'll do it. And so all of these downfalls can also become great strengths to me if I realize that marketing is that one meta skill that I have that can transcend all barriers and industry, and that allows you to be. And what's this amazing thing is about that too is like it just allows you to. People wonder like how did I build an authority so fast, and I didn't. It's just when you learn marketing the right way, and you learn these concepts from the top down instead of, say, Google searching and learning them from the bottom up. When you learn from the top down, you have a meta level understanding of everything. So you don't even need to learn these little things down there because it's already assumed that you know them. If you know one thing, then everything else kind of falls into line. And that's all I've done is I've made it my life study to figure this stuff out from the right way and from the right sources. And it's allowed me to seem extremely knowledgeable or whatnot, just simply because I understand a bigger concepts that all the natural other questions would answer themselves if you just understood that big concept kind of thing.
And speaking of learning it from the top down, one guy that I've been marketing, as soon as you see him, you'll know him. This freaking dude right here, Gary, if you can see a young version of Gary Halbert. Actually, I should have done the podcast with the Gary Halbert mask. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've been doing a lot of modeling of him. He's freaking genius. I've been going through I'm going through all of his newsletters. I'm trying to figure out like his beliefs, a lot of the different things that make Gary who he is. And then using NLP or using, I don't know if you heard of it, but using deep trance identification, which is very similar to method acting, to basically create the model of the person, use hypnosis, trance, whatever, and you basically step into that representation. And you can take on a skill extremely fast. Why? Like, I'm lazy like you. Why? And society beats into us, like, don't be lazy, don't be lazy. I'm like, dude, if I can get from point A to point D by sidestepping, why would I do the extra work if I don't freaking need to?
And everybody does. I don't give a fuck who you are. Some people are just everybody wants to do that. There's no one who's going to do the extra fucking thing just because if there's an easier option just to do the extra thing, unless it's specifically for a specific purpose, like say fitness. It's like, okay, I'm going to take the fucking stairs. I know it's not easier, but I have this larger goal of, getting my fat ass in shape or whatever it is. So yeah, but you're right. Everyone's lazy. Everyone wants to do what's efficient. And so that's totally cool, especially and Gary. And the thing about Gary is he did some amazing things. He's an incredible role model. He's special. He's awesome. But in my mind, he was just another regular dude. People can do what he fucking does. And I think what he did is, first of all, he learned everything the right way from the right sources first. Claude Hopkins, he went and fucking forged his knowledge, his bedrock of knowledge. He didn't get fucking distracted by all this shit today and all the fucking books everywhere. He solidified his core of knowledge from the best first until that was like indestructible. And then he just did that. But his personality is what made him awesome. Like, he just took the fucking brakes off of his personality and he just went and lived and had crazy stories, did crazy shit. I was telling my business partner, Mac, the other day that I want to do part of what we're going to do for our new program. It's going to be like, it's going to be like we have like a bunch of different new programs, but this one's going to be like how to quit your job and basically get rid of, how I broke free from the rat race and all that bullshit. But in order to get attention these days, and in order to really, because Gary had these fucking stories, that's what immortalized him, right? And some people make them up, some people don't do them at all. But here's what's cool is, so what we're going to do is I'm going to find a way to go to prison. I don't know which country, and I don't know exactly which offense yet. We haven't got that far. But I'm going to figure out how to fucking go to prison so that I can go to prison and write the sales letter for that product in prison so that I can relate not being free, with your freedom and how being in a job is like being in prison. And I'm going to write the fucking sales letter in prison. So not only is there no distractions and I can make it like gut wrenchingly amazing, but at the same time, it's going to make for an amazing talking piece and attention getting piece about, writing the sales letter for this thing from prison, because I know how you feel about being imprisoned by your job and shit like that. So being willing to do something like that alone, and it's because that's not hard to do. That just takes balls to do. And if you're willing to do stuff like that, then you could be a fucking legend like Gary, I believe, if you were to do things like that.
What's the Facebook ad? Is it going to be like discover the one trick this man used to rob the banks clear?
Right, and part of the sales videos and the opt-in videos or whatever the fuck, part of the sales sequence will be, whatever happened. It's me getting arrested, blah blah blah, talking about it. I'm like, I'll see you guys inside. Can't wait, and then it'll be in there, and then me coming out, and then maybe it's me getting released from fucking prison after I've already, I've mailed the sales letter over to my partners. They've already put it on the computer. They've already got it done, ready to go, ready to launch. And then, maybe I get released, and then we drive to a studio and I sit down and do a sales video. I don't know, man, but we're just talking. But it's being willing to do things like that. Like one of our other newest products, the Lazy Consultant, is all going to be about how we the headline. I don't have it on me quick enough to show you, but the headline is hilarious. And I made the headline up first. Because if you make the headline up first, then you just have to fulfill the headline so you can make it whatever you want to. Instead of trying to take your USP or your product, try to take your USP and make an amazing headline out of it. How about just make an amazing headline and then make it and then try to fulfill your own USP? So here is the headline that we're using for it. Canadian marketing teacher travels to Asia, gets lost in jungle, slaps family of wild monkeys, and escapes into abandoned hut in order to film video class that reveals 7 hidden secrets to becoming a well-known, high-paid, powerful consultant fast. So I made that up, and now we're just going to actually go make it happen and film it in real life, and then actually do that so that the headline makes sense, and then it gets the attention and breaks through the clutter.
That's why you're partly in Thailand right now, right?
Well, no, but that's the thing is, since we are in Thailand, since I do have this, then it's like, okay, we're going to release this program. Everyone in their fucking, everyone in their dog-licking buddy has a fucking course on how to be a consultant, how to get clients and all that. And a lot of times it's the same information. A lot of times it's different, but how do you break through the pack and cut through the clutter? You can't just shout louder anymore, right? It's like that, what was it? Who said it? Eugene Schwartz has the, if you remember, Antonio, the 5 levels of market sophistication, or whatever. I don't even know, but there's levels of sophistication, how jaded the market is. So I can't just shout more. You can get more clients or even more clients, or it's all the same shit now. However, the stuff's still valuable. So we got to come at it from a different angle. So how do I do that? Well, how about learning how to get clients from a guy who's running through the jungle in a loincloth, being chased by monkeys, who sneaks into a hut to tell you a fucking secret? It's like people want to be entertained and then educated. So entertain the motherfuckers first, and then, and then educate them after. At least you have the attention. Which one are you going to click on, right? Like some marketing fucking guy running through a jungle, getting attacked by monkeys, trying to tell you how to get clients, or is it going to be the boring ass motherfucker who's sitting there just trying to, tell you the same shit that everyone else has fucking told you in the same way?
Some dude with a megaphone screaming.
That's right. Hello, I'm teaching you the same shit that Buddy just taught you yesterday. It's the same thing as Frank Kern taught you. It's the same thing that Sam Ovens is. It's the same thing that everyone in the industry is teaching. But, I got a blue shirt and they have a red shirt. So, buy my shit. It's not going to work like that.
Now, I want to ask you, so you obviously, I'm guessing, have you ever done any NLP trainings live? Or is it mainly just via products?
Yeah, it was just self-study at the very beginning. I got obsessed with Richard Bandler because obviously, Tony, and then in his first book, he said that he learned the NLP stuff. So naturally, I went back and learned that shit. And it was all of Richard's video programs, His books were too dense for me, man. I couldn't fucking get through any of them. I can't do it. So mostly his live video and his audio programs. And I put them in I'd listen to them all day long, whatever I was doing. And then I'd listen to when I was going to sleep. I'd brainwash myself with them. I've probably every program that Bandler has ever put out as far as video or audio, I've listened to at least 10 times each, multiple times in my sleep with them, just to kind of embed the shit in my brain. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, especially with him.
I don't know, especially with him.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so I'm assuming that you've probably done a good amount of modeling people. Maybe you don't know consciously you've done it. What are the people that you've worked on modeling in marketing and in the personal development space? Okay,
so I've been haphazard with this. So I've never traditionally modeled anyone, though I have. I guess it would be like a poor man's version of modeling. Like people would laugh at me. But I mean, so there are people that have an understand. Like there's a knowledge base of certain people that are unheard of, and it gives me a huge advantage. One of those guys is Harry Brown, who wrote a book called How to Be Free in an Unfree World. I can't imagine living right now without knowing that, without having that. There's Paul Zane Pilzer, who's another guy that Tony interviewed back in the early 90s. His ideas about economics and how the world works, basically, fucking unparalleled, incredible. There's a man named Owen Cook who is into self-development and expressing itself through the form of dating advice and picking up hoes, for lack of a better term. And he is one of the deepest, most critical thinkers of our time. He's my favorite right now of anybody. But then as far as personality and stuff like that, and guys, you kind of want to just that are closer to kind of your core of like, okay, this is the path that I'm on. I mean, when I was a kid, guys like fucking Shawn Michaels, like the boy toy, fucking arrogant, cocky, heartbreak kid guy. Stone Cold Steve Austin, because he's just a badass motherfucker who didn't give a shit about anybody. And I was like, that's me. Guys like Eminem, right? A lot more like extreme guys like that. Richard Bandler. I mean, these are all guys that are, but then I also love to model and respected guys like Wayne Dyer, Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins. So I have this humanitarian, love people, soft side to me, but I also have this instant, you fucking piss me off, I'm going to fucking piss down your throat kind of attitude. And then, guys like Joe Rogan and all that, like I love those guys because that just aligns with who I am. It's like there's a duality to life, and I love people a lot, but then there's 50% of me that also thinks I fucking hate people and they're pathetic and we're pathetic. I mean, it's I'm not on a pedestal or anything, but there's this duality to life where people are awesome and they're also pieces of shit, and I'm kind of torn between those, so I can easily get fired up and fucking and attack on someone, but I can also completely get fired up the other way and just be like, oh man, I love this person so much. So for me, modeling is all about like Tony Robbins, Owen Cook, Richard Bandler, Paul Pilzer, Harry Brown, Joe Rogan, fucking Wayne Dyer, awesome, like crazy, like deep thinkers like Robert Anton Wilson and stuff like that. So
you seem like a very learned person. One thing I'm actually going to do a pitch for my friend's product. Have you ever heard of deep trance identification?
No.
Okay, well, basically, deep trance identification, the first story I heard of it was Richard Bandler and John Grinder took one of their students back in, I think, the 70s, and they hypnotized this guy, Stephen Gilligan, and they wanted to make, or not make him, but have him model Milton Erickson.
Right.
So then when the results they got from it was phenomenal. There really
hasn't
been much.
So sorry,
yeah.
say it one more time. They wanted to model Milton, but they did it through this other guy, or
yeah. Well, basically, they I think they'd already modeled him, but they basically hypnotized Stephen Gilligan, another brilliant.
He would take on Milton's mannerisms and whatnot. Okay.
And apparently, Milton was. I think he was. It sounded like he might have been kind of pissed about it because this could just be hearsay. I'm not really sure, but I think he might have been a little angry about it because he had his own health problems. He had polio, had a real hard time with mobility. So I think he was kind of mad with him by not taking the ecology into place. With that being said, for you and anybody else that wants to learn how to model, get this book, Deep Trance Identification. It's the go-to book, actually the only book on deep trance identification that gives a huge amount of different techniques to model people. It uses, the switch pattern to model people. And actually use that. I started to model Eugene Schwartz. I didn't go too far into it, but I did one roast modeling Eugene Schwartz. There's this thing called the event matrix where you basically you imagine that you're going through, the person you want to model, you're going through 4 different episodes in their life. And it's kind of like a different kind of visualization. Anyhow, I was with my girlfriend at the mall. She had to get her nails done, so I just sat there. I was like, I'm going to close my eyes and zone out. So I did that. Next thing I know, it was almost like a full dream, meditating where I couldn't tell the difference between real or imagine. And I found myself, I'm like talking Eugene Schwartz. Next thing I know, I jump up, open my eyes, and I freak out to where I was actually beginning to model him. But long story short, get this book. If you want to model people, this book, you can't beat it.
Who wrote that?
A couple of my friends, Sean Carson, Jess Marion, and his wife. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sean Carson, Jess Marion, and John Overdurf. And Overdurf is I don't know if you've heard of Overdurf. He's one of the top NLP trainers on the planet, but he's very kind of reclusive. But his stuff is very conversational. He starts telling stories, and you just find yourself, you're off in La La Land, and then you come back and you have no idea what happened.
Yeah. Very cool.
I've actually been using, I'm working on one personal development project for get my mindset right, and then I'm going to be working on where I'm going to be modeling Gary Halbert. So I'm looking to interview a bunch of people that have direct experience with him. I'm going to be using a mix of this program, some of the techniques in this book, and this bad boy right here, which I'm sure you've seen one of these things, one of these deals. Light and sound device, where they have the flashing lights and put them on. They kind of.
Oh, they drop you into theta waves or something.
So that I'm going to keep everybody posted on that. So that should be very interesting. I've already had one experience modeling Gary Halbert where I was using a different program where I basically asked my unconscious, I'm like, hey, give me a mental landscape where I can model Gary Halbert. Next thing I know, it was a huge library, which was kind of fitting considering he was an avid reader. Anyhow, I found Gary Halbert there. I went up, I'm like, hey, give me a gift. Asked him for like a symbolic gift. So he proceeded to take almost like a man suit. Like he took a suit of himself off and basically handed it to me. Very, very lifelike and very clear. It's a kind of weird exchange, but he gave me the suit. So I remember taking the suit, kind of put it on. All my imagination. Got a very unique mind. So I put the suit on, and I found myself the next 15 or 20 minutes, almost as if I was walking around like Gary in my mind, like just going through different experiences and experiencing some of the stories I've heard him tell about.
Right.
So very interesting. But yeah, definitely anybody pick up that book and you'll love it. Definitely you need to pick that book up. If you love hypnosis, NLP, you'll freaking dig on that book.
What's interesting is I've never formally gone into hypnosis at all. And it'd probably do me a lot of good. I just know that I feel like for my personality, that's going to be a big undertaking. Not even one that I might be ready to do.
The trust then, right?
Yeah, it's powerful, but there's no doubt it's powerful. For people who say it doesn't work, they don't even understand. It's like there's people who say hypnosis doesn't work, but they're saying it while they're in a fucking trance. It's like if you ever have been in an or how many times you've been driving and then you're thinking about bullshit, you're daydreaming, you're doing some other shit, and all of a sudden the light turns green and goes, but you don't. It's like, don't tell me that, because people don't know what people think it's just swinging some fucking rock between someone's eyes until they all of a sudden start acting like a fucking monkey and don't remember. That's not fucking hypnosis. But anyway.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I want to ask, what is Do you have any kind of daily routine, I guess, anything that you do to keep yourself on fire and on point? Any kind of personal development, meditation, etc.?
Yeah. So the first couple of things, everyone seems to forget some of these. Some people are like, oh, I do this with this, and I have this little tea thing, and then I make sure 3 things I'm grateful for. That's all fucking cool and good. But I try to have a fun, awesome life because I think nothing fires you up more about your life than having a good one. So lots of sex, meeting hot girls, going to the gym, meeting people, having like in Thailand here. I mean, we can go out to a coffee shop to work. You get to meet some cool people. So there's a lot of that stuff that I try to do. But as far as like wake up right in the morning, I wake up and I usually just like quickly smash on YouTube and turn on some like motivational shit. And the way I get motivated is kind of like, well, the way I'm really talking now, it's kind of crass. But like I like to turn on usually, to be honest, I love either a Tim Ferriss or a Joe Rogan podcast. I'll slap that on, and it takes me a while. I'm not a morning person, so it takes me a while to wake up, dude. So I'll be laying there, and sometimes it takes me like maybe a half an hour to finally get out of bed, which is fine. I mean, I do what I want, but then the podcast, like there's enlightened minds on the podcast. They're usually talking with other people, and they're usually like, these are minds that are fired up and seasoned and matured and fucking on different levels. And they start to talk and they start to get you pumped up. And you're like, okay, go about my fucking day. The podcast is on. I wake up. I'm like, good. Go to the washroom. I fucking stretch. I stretch all my muscles and my whole body out. That makes me feel like loose and ready to go. Pop on a fucking tea. I used to do coffee, but now I just don't really like it anymore. For in the morning, I'll throw on like a tea. I got like a pu'er tea or a fucking green tea or a black tea. I brew that shit. Have like 2-3 glasses. I usually go through my little book here and figure out what I'm going to do for the day. The whole time I'm doing this, though, and this is going to sound cheesy as fuck, but whatever, we're talking about self-development, is I tell myself that I'm fucking unstoppable and everything's fucking great. There's not going to be any fucking stress today. And that allows me to not usually feel much stress on most days. Like as an entrepreneur, as you know, there's ups and downs. We can't get around that. But generally I'm a fucking rock. Generally very stoic. I don't usually ever get like crazy emotional at all in any way. So my downs are not very down, but they're still there. But it's a lot of self-talk. It's a lot of, I have the tea because I like making it myself because it's a ritual of just getting myself fucking fired up for the day. And then also if I really need it, if I feel I need to pick me up, then instead of the podcast in the morning, I'll put on some sort of comedy like Louis C.K. or fucking Dane Cook or some shit like that, where it's just like hardcore comedy and like it just forces you to kind of wake up and feel good.
Oh, I love the comedy bit. My favorite comedians were oh god, the guy, he passed away.
Carlin.
Carlin, and then the guy passed away before him. Bill Hicks. Have you heard of Bill Hicks?
Oh man, everyone keeps telling me to check him out, but I haven't. No.
You're fired if you haven't heard of him. Yeah, he's awesome. And then the British guy. Have you heard of Jimmy Carr?
No.
Oh my god. Do you have Netflix over there?
No.
Okay, I'll find the episode. I'll see if I can find it if it's on YouTube or anywhere.
Yeah.
Our British guy, very not stoic humor, but sardonic humor. He's very crass. Oh, you'll love him.
Deadpan, like just I get you. Cool. I like it.
Very deadpan. Let's see. Anything else we can cover? Oh yeah, what's your website? How can people find out more about you?
Okay, so the website is Opposed Media Blog, because our company is called Opposed Media, so it's OPPOSED. OpposedMediaBlog.com. That's where you have a lot of articles, videos, content that I put out all the time. we used to almost only do service work. So we used to do copywriting for other people, set up funnels, campaigns, marketing campaigns, strategy, consulting for other people. I got sick of it. I don't really enjoy doing service work anymore. We have a few clients, always just like kind of a few going of projects that we want to do right now, but we've shut that area of the business down. I don't fucking care to do it. I'd rather, we made, like, honestly, to be 100% honest, we made multiple people multi-millions of dollars and a lot of them from scratch. One dude we took from, they were doing $130,000 a month online, which is already fucking incredible, obviously. And then they ended up doing $1.8 million a month from our funnel. And that was just in immediate sales, lifetime value. They're doing 10 million a month. And I was like, fuck that. We got to do this for myself. I'm not making 10 million a month. So it's like, we decided, let's get the fuck away from the services. We already know what we're doing. We've proved to the world we're doing it, that we don't have to prove anything to anybody. There's no need to sit here on the hamster wheel of consulting and services. We can start doing products. So we're in the midst of creating products right now. One's called the Lazy Consultant, which is literally like you're talking about. It's called the Lazy Consultant because I have found ways to be a consultant and to do this stuff and to make a shit ton of money at it, but also be able to like live life, have fun, and all the different hacks of like, of doing it my way, like doing it my way. I don't have a phone number. You can't ever call me. There's no, if I were to close a client, they will come to me. There is no like me chasing or me going to them, none of that shit. So like just basically really just setting it up in a way where exactly everything is on your terms for once, instead of all this bullshit consultant courses out there now that teach you to fucking bang the phones and cold call and act like a little fucking bitch in order to just like beg for some fucking business for such a low price. You might as well be on Upwork or fucking Fiverr. And so we have some courses coming out. They're not going to be done for a few months, but postmediablog.com is where you can go, and there's all sorts of free content and cool stuff there. So just enjoy that, and then eventually I got the pixel on the page. So if you guys visit it and you actually check out some of the content, odds are you'll end up seeing some ads a couple months later for some of the courses and shit.
I love it. That's one thing I want to ask you about is you write copy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about copy. Like, I'm just starting. I don't know if I have copy I've been working on. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, if you saw my desk, this right here looks clean.
Yeah.
One thing I found out about writing copy is it's lonely. It's a lonely endeavor. That's why I have to you've probably seen my Facebook post where I'll be writing for a while, then I got to get on Facebook, kind of create some controversy, put something about vaccines or GMOs. Maybe go around the bar, have a beer or two. Very lonely. I had to get that out of my system. But how would I say it? What are some good ways to get good at copy? One I know is what I've been doing a lot is hand copying. I've hand copied umpteen sales letters.
Cool. I've never done that. I've never hand copied anything in my life. And it probably works really well. I mean, so this is what I'm going to get shot for saying this, but I think I didn't even have to learn copywriting before I was good at it. I mean, I just kind of always had it. I think. And I was thinking back, I was like, oh, maybe it's the self-development and all of that stuff. Like I said at the beginning, learning that meta level stuff allows you to have empathy and know how people think in order to know what you need to say to that specific type of person in order to get them off the fence on something. But then I think back, and I had to do this. Like I had the Warrior Forum. It's a famous marketing forum, just a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of it's if you don't know what you're doing, it's the worst place in the world to go, because you'll sit there and you'll be confused and overwhelmed for fucking years. It's a terrible place to go if you don't know what you're doing. It's a 4chan of internet marketing. Yeah, and if you don't, yeah, exactly. So you're fucked up if you don't have a specific goal in a specific area and you're hunting for the truth. I mean, it's like going to the dump and looking for like something of quality. It's like it's probably there, right? Someone probably accidentally threw their diamond ring out in the fucking in the trash, but good luck finding it. But anyways, I had an account there, and I looked back to like 2008 or something, and then also looking back further in my emails from when I was just out of high school, and we were doing a lot of the band stuff, because we managed to get offered a record deal by Chad Kroeger, who was the singer of Nickelback. He had a record label, and he offered us a deal on it, and we had the manager of the Killers at the time. We're the biggest band in the world at that time. We had him looking at us, thinking about signing us. He sent us some emails and stuff like that. He said our sound was too on the fence for rock or dance. He didn't know, or rock or pop. He didn't know which one it was, because we were so close to 50-50 rock and pop that he couldn't justify taking us on, because he thought it. But anyway, but looking back to all the writing that I did then, I always had it, because as long as you have it, you can do most shit wrong, like copywriting rules wise, and it would still convert. That's the fucked up thing. So I as far as copywriting goes, I am taking a backseat to teaching it now, because I've realized that there's something that I've had naturally all along that's allowed it to work, in spite of people who have read hundreds more books than me, hand copied shit out, fucking just like put in so much more work than me, and it's not even fair how I can go in. The one the one sales letter that was doing $1.8 million a month, that motherfucker, I wrote that fucker in like 4 hours. I went over to my business partner's house in Canada. We sat down, we were having beer and pizza, and we were listening to music. We were talking, and I just sat there in the thing, and I wrote that first draft out in about 4 hours, spent another hour editing it after that a couple days later. And that's the version that went up, and we never even split tested anything else, because it was working so well. We just fucking let it be. And so I think if I were to describe the thing that I have that allows it to convert, it would, I don't know for sure, but I think it's an ability to step inside the shoes, put on the skin suit, like you said, put on the fucking suit of that person. This sales letter was for real estate agents that were busy and overworked and under fucking paid, and they needed, it was to sell them a virtual assistant just for themselves. And so the whole idea was you're overpaid, you're underpaid, overworked. You can't yet afford a full-time assistant in-house, because you can't plop them somewhere and train them and all that shit. But you're still overworked. Your task load's still overwhelmed. Blah 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 blah. So get a virtual assistant. So to sell them on the ideas of that. So I mean, it's just I don't know how to explain it, but I think people just don't have enough empathy. It's like if like how that person actually feels. Like if you're talking to them in real life, they would say, man, I got my kids, and I got to pick up my kids, and I got to do this, and I got to that, and I want to close more deals, and but I have all these problems, and it's like all you have to do is just acknowledge that. Just be like, I bet you have to fucking pick up your kids, and I bet you have all these issues trying to do your to-do list. You'd love to go close more deals, but you can't, because you have to sit there and do that fucking stupid paperwork all day, and all of that stuff. Well, what if someone could take care of the paperwork for you? What if you didn't have to do this? What if you could pick your kids up from school instead of having to have someone else do it for you? What would it mean if you did this and this and this? Hey, you might actually get some free time once in a while to even go on a fucking vacation. Hey, how cool would that be? And so I don't know, like, I don't understand yet what it is that I could write. People that study more than me cannot get the same results as me. I think it's just, I think it's a social skill, empathy thing. I think if you can, this is something that, because Gary Halbert used to go door to door with sales letters, or he'd write copy or he'd be like crafting an offer, and he would go door to door pitching people that were his market or whatever on that specific offer. He'd find people that it was perfect for, and he would pitch it in real life to see what would happen. I think maybe the main skill that allows someone to be a good copywriter has nothing to do with copywriting. Maybe it has everything to do with social skills and empathy and figuring out how to connect with people. So how you connect with people in real life is probably how you're going to sell on paper. if you're socially a bit weird and you can't just quite make those connections, or it's just, you know, well, we all know how we interact with people. How you interact with people is probably exactly how you sell. If you're a copywriter, I would say.
Okay, I have a question for you. If this makes any sense, what are you like when you're at your best, when you're doing copy?
Like while I'm writing it?
Yeah, what are you like metaphorically? Just start talking about what are you like when you're at your best when you're writing copy?
Music's blasting. I've worked myself up into a fucking like aggressive frenzy. Like it's like a mix between, you know, when you see like a super hot girl, and you're like, you get that like that fucking that intensity from like your balls, almost like a caveman, like it's like there's that mixed with like it's like if you were fishing and the fucking fish bit the hook and you aren't going to let that motherfucker go. It's not like it's the attitude, because it's an attitude, and I write with a certain attitude that convinces people, I guess. But so the attitude is not like if let's say person A and person B, I'm person B. Let's say person A is fishing and they fucking fish a bit. Now that person A can be like, oh man, I hope I don't lose this fish. Oh God, come on. Oh man, hey man, you want to help me here? I don't want to lose this. I hope it doesn't go. Like, oh my God, the line's pretty tight. I just want to, and there's that person who can be doing the same things. They want to reel the fish in. They're doing the same technical things as person B, but they got that attitude of like, come on, I hope I don't lose this, or this has got to work. Come on. Oh, I really want this. I got to get this. Oh, please don't let the line break. Whereas I'm like, come on, you motherfucker, you're coming in. I don't give a fuck. You're coming in. It's like line's not going to break. Line's not going to break. If it breaks, fuck it. I'm throwing another one back in, but you're going to come in. Come on, get in here, bitch. Come on, give me another beer. Come on. And it's just the attitude, because what people really buy is certainty. And that's why John Carlton says, don't sell from your heels, because that's the one thing that'll fucking kill you. Like, it's like the salesman that goes door to door. He's like, hey, would you like to buy this? It's like, no, don't ask the motherfucker if he would like to buy it. Fucking tell him he needs to buy it. It's like, that certainty is all that people ever buy, because they can't ever experience your product or service before you do it. They can only experience your product or service at the point at which you actually provide it. You can't provide it until you've sold it. So in order to sell it, the only thing that you're actually selling, you're never selling the product. You're never selling the result the product provides, because they don't know that you can for sure get it for them, because they haven't actually experienced it yet. So the only thing that you can possibly sell on a sales letter or in person or anywhere is the fucking certainty that this could actually help them. So most people aren't selling certainty in their sales letters and their copy. They're trying to sell the product, or they're half-ass selling it, or they missed the ball. But you're selling confidence. That's all this fucking game is in real life, in copy, in marketing, and sales. It's all just one big game of confidence.
No doubt.
Yeah.
One last question. God, there's some brilliant answers. Another question. So I'm just starting to get into copy. I did one sales letter. It was the first one. So it was $200. It was for somebody to get more stop smoking clients. The next one I'm doing it for. I think this next one it's actually I think you saw it. I posted in the Cult of Copy, but it's basically I'm working a session out with my friend. Or he's going to give me a hypnosis session in exchange for the copy. I need to start making money with copy, get out of tourism, because as much as I love all you tourists, you guys drive me batshit crazy. I need to get out of tourism.
Right.
How can I start getting gigs, or anybody start getting gigs writing copy?
Okay, so what copywriter said it the best? He says a copywriter who can't write copy to sell his own services isn't a good copywriter. So basically what you do is you start, here's the way I started writing copy for other people. Like, I've done lots of marketing, I've done other shit, but like the actual copy part itself, I'll tell you exactly what I did. This is a step-by-step fucking solution. It works. I joined a group. I joined, Digital Marketers Engage group. It's $39 a month. for access to their Facebook group. It's paid. What I like about paid Facebook groups is people pay to be there. So since they pay to be there, they're actually serious, and they're a different level of person. They're a little bit level up. They take action. They have money, that kind of thing, mostly. So that group had like 6,000 people in it. I joined it. I joined it just for the hell of it because I like digital marketer. I love those guys. And I went to traffic and conversion. I actually went to the first traffic and conversion because my very first internet job I ever had was I was a personal assistant or a virtual assistant to Ryan Moran, who, if anyone knows now, he's one of the top dudes. He just had Gary Vee and Grant Cardone at his last event. And he's a great dude. And he was my first mentor, I guess you could say. And I just did like administrative stuff for him, bought solo ads for him, hooked up stuff. Anyways, he brought me to the first traffic conversion. So I love the guy. So I was involved in that group. And it was just coincidentally that when you're in a group, like if you go into a group like that of people who are serious, but understand that like 95% of anybody in any group is a complete novice, which is fine. But basically what you do is I joined that group and everyone started asking questions. So I just started answering them, and I answer them in such a way where it's so on point that it's undeniable that I'm an authority. So it's like, okay, I started to gain clout there because I was answering questions in a very intelligent and thoughtful way. Sometimes I'd spend an hour on to answer a question. For whatever reason, I just felt like helping. I had no business purposes to come out of this yet. It just so happens that I'll show you the whole step by step, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, this actually works as a business play, and then we reverse engineer it, and you can do it as a strategy. But at the time, I didn't think of it as a strategy. I was just, I liked being there. I was answering questions, whatever. And you get the ego hit of someone saying, oh my God, that's an amazing answer. And then someone actually doing something with it and say, I tripled my sales. I was having to one guy, he's like, I tripled my sales because I took the guarantee and I extended it out 3 months. And I was like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, you answer a bunch of questions, and then a lot of the questions are kind of like the same theme. A lot of people have the same kind of questions. So then you just kind of think of an article or a piece of content that you want to put out based that is really on point like that. Like a lot of people were basically at the time, they would spend like $10 on a Facebook campaign. So they spent $10 on an ad. They got like no data. They got like, 14 clicks or something, and they got like this. And they're sitting there. What should I do? Like, should I cut this? Should I target this? Like, what should I do? And I'm just like, holy fuck, like you can't make any decisions off of such small data like that. And I mean, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you motherfuckers are going out to a nightclub, and you guys are, or you're going to a pub, or you're fucking spending like $100 a night in pizza and beer or whatever the fuck it is. And you're afraid to spend $10 on a fucking Facebook ad. And so I would write that in an article. I'd be like, oh, so you're willing to spend $25 on a pizza, but you're shaking in your boots trying to do a Facebook ad for $10, and the pizza's going to make you fat, broker, and greasy, and the Facebook ad could make your fucking dreams come true. So what the hell's going on here? And so I just create an article about that. And so here's what I ended up doing is all the people that liked so I'd answer a ton of questions so that people looked forward to hearing from me. And then once every couple of days, I'd post a valuable piece of content, which then a whole bunch of people will jump on and like. And it's all the people who liked it, I added them as friends. Now this is where it gets genius. So in the digital marketer group, I actually started, I was the authority there last year. And so obviously Ryan Dice was the authority. However, he didn't come on that much. I think he's on there a lot more now, but I was the top guy there, and it showed in my income, because basically what happens is when you answer questions intelligently, when you post pieces of content that kind of reframe people or spin people around, you know what I mean? Like the whole like making people realize, oh shit, I so easily buy Starbucks or pizza without thinking of it. But then I'm scared for doing something that will help my dreams. Whoa, like those whoa things. If you can, that's what I'm best at, really. So if you can interject those, people think you're a fucking mad genius. And then what happens is when you post those cool pieces of content, you get like 100, 200, 300 people like it. Add all of them as friends immediately while the high is still there. And then here's what's cool is since you post so much in these groups, and you got to throttle it. You can't be an idiot, but since you're answering questions so much and you're posting cool pieces of content so much, here's what's amazing is now I have like 600-700 friends from that group. And when I post a piece of content on the digital marketer group that they have come to know to love, when I post a similar piece of content on my Facebook wall in the same format as I do a digital marketer, guess what? But I'm selling something at the end. I'm saying, and if you guys need help with your copywriting, I'll write a sales letter for you for 10 grand. It's going to be expensive, but it's also going to be the cheapest thing you ever bought because it's going to make you 10 times more than that. However, I only have one spot this month. So if you are even remotely interested in upping your career, then you need to get a hold of me right now because it's going to be gone like right now. So in digital marketer in the group, you're not allowed to sell anything. You can't promote yourself. So you can only have the content pieces. But since I added them all as friends on Facebook, and since Facebook wall is just like the scrolling feed, everyone assumes that it's almost on digital marketer. So a lot of people thought that I actually worked for digital marketer because I thought I was able to add promotion to the end of my content, but it was just actually on my Facebook wall. I had fucking Molly from digital marketer, who's the president. She would message me and say, "Sorry, Mitch, you can't have that piece of content on your on our group. It goes against our rules because it promotes ourselves. So I'm sorry. I went ahead and deleted it." And I said, "Okay." I'm like, "Which one?" And she's like, "The one about this." I'm like, "You deleted it, hey?" I'm like, "Do you need my fucking password and username for Facebook to get into my personal one?" And she was like, "Oh, damn it." She's like, "God damn it." She's like, "I thought it was in the group." So
That's awesome.
That is the one strategy that I did. I also wrote a book and put it on Amazon before I joined that group. And so that had a lot of, I would reference these things. And I had clients before, so I'd reference things. Or I'd reference, the book that I had on Amazon, blah, 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 blah. So I can reference these things. But basically, that's the gist of it. I joined a group that's a paid group that has a higher level of person in it with money and who are actually serious. I answered questions in a thoughtful, intelligent, in-depth kind of long way. And then I posted crazy pieces of content that reframed people, made them go, whoa. And all the people that liked the content, I added them as friends. And then I'd write similar pieces of content on my Facebook feed for them. But then I would actually add the selling at the end of it. And that's how and for the copywriting portion of the business, that's how I was fucking stacked full. Took about,
Brilliant.
6 months for people to really start contacting me and to be so full of work that all the other business stuff I was doing and everything went to the side, and it was like focused completely on that just from that in that group. And it took about 6 months to really start for it to really start going. But then once it got going, it got too much actually and fucked up our business, and a lot of bad things actually happened, and I had to peel back and settle down because you take on too much and that you can't handle, and then you drop the ball, and then you get a bad reputation, blah blah blah. So, but that's the strategy, step by step. Anyone can do it.
Awesome. You know, the thing I love most about it is it made sense. So when you're posting the stuff, people are liking your stuff, you add them, and then when they see your stuff, so they automatically, I like how you said that they automatically take the two contacts and mix them up. They think your Facebook wall is the same as the group.
Yeah.
And they almost think it's endorsed by the group. It's like, oh, boom, got to do it.
Yep. Yeah. And then we ended up, for a promotion that we did, we ended up taking out ads on Facebook for people who were fans of Ryan Dice or whatever, a digital marketer. And so our ads were showing to most of those people as well who are in the group.
Brilliant shit.
Yeah, it works.
It's covered.
It's simple, deadly. I didn't even, it wasn't a thought in my mind before it happened. It just started to work really well. And then a couple months ago or whenever it was, I decoded it and went backwards. I'm like, okay, that's what I did. Okay, cool. Anyone could do that.
Since I got my camera here, I'm going to show you my, Okay, now when I move, you can be, oh, wow, messy room. Let me see. There.
There's a dead body under there.
Oh, yeah. So this is just sales letters, the stack of sales letters, and just free PDFs on the line or online of like a bullet writing and whatnot. And of course, you can't go wrong with with National Enquirer.
Nice.
Yes, some of the best. I found out some of the best bullet and headline spaces in National Enquirer. It's
Wonderful.
A trashy magazine, but hey, people buy it. You know, people say, "Oh, I would never buy a National Enquirer." I'm like, bullshit. We all love gossip. We're all selfish people.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're a marketer and you're not learning from that source, you're an idiot, or you're just not there yet. But to actually dismiss it, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, it's just a freaking brilliant source.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I love it. I love that stuff, and I love like Cosmo magazine. I love Cosmo. There's someone put together a list of like 1,000 or something, or 1,000 Cosmo headlines or whatever. And that's incredible. But here's my little secret. It's stupid, but it works so well. Is you take like you say, National Enquirer or Star or Cosmopolitan or Maxim or whatever niche you're in. You type in your niche and then magazine or Maxim or Cosmo or whatever you're in, and then you fucking press Google Images search, and you have hundreds and hundreds of headlines and bullets and covers from magazines in your niche. If someone's in health and fitness, they're like, what should my bullet, or I can't find just can't find a headline for this. It's like, motherfucker, there are a million fucking muscle and fitness, men's health, all these crazy fucking things that have been doing this for fucking 25 years. Google search their magazine covers. Like,
here's one. Why Trump is Hillary's worst nightmare. Dude, you know how many ways you could spin that one? Why this new secret diet is your belly fat's worst nightmare. Blah blah blah. Or
right.
Let's see. Like tragic secret he took to the grave. I remember I almost came up with a headline for a weight loss thing saying tragic secret so and so celebrity almost took to their grave. It's brilliant stuff.
Right. Or say I'm the lazy consultant. So one of my articles could be why Mitch Miller is Gary Vaynerchuk's biggest nightmare. And then go on to say because he wants you to work yourself into a grave and all of that, and it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's fun. Obviously, I know that Gary's slowed down, but it's something to go against. Or it's like, why is Mitch Miller Grant Cardone's worst enemy? Oh, because what, it doesn't matter what it is, but then you can start to position yourself, because that's the thing too. In this business, everyone who gets in this business and they're like, oh, I'm not a guru. I don't want to be, or the gurus say this, but I'm not a guru. That's just their fucking way of positioning themselves as a guru by saying they're not a guru, because it's douchey to say you're a fucking guru. But at the same time, the truth is, in this business, people buy from and listen to authorities, and you have to be okay being one. And if you're being one and it's good enough and people like it, then you will become a fucking guru or whatever, so to speak. But this business, and this is what Gary Halbert did, is he wasn't afraid to, like, at all. He wasn't afraid to self-promote and self-aggrandize and be that fucking whatever the fuck. That's what all these guys, that's what a lot of people have missing. They want to be known as more expert. If you want to get more copy clients, you need to be known as an authority in copy in order to get people. Because remember, we're selling confidence. That's the only thing we're selling. So in order for someone to be confident that you're going to write them something that works, you need to be confident. And if you're confident about what you're doing and you have results to back it up, then you're an authority. So then you're automatically a guru to somebody. So it's like, you get that out of your fucking head that you don't want to be a guru, or you don't want to be this or that. If you want to be really good at something, then you want to get the confidence of your market, then you need to be an authority in your fucking market. So be okay just being an authority.
One of my favorite anti-guru people is freaking the email player, freaking Ben Sennell. Always plays down the whole thing about guru this and guru that, which actually, you made me think of him earlier when you were talking about, I think it was about being sensitive, being in touch with your emotions. He always talks about the mush cookies. And so we're getting close to the end of the podcast. If you want, there's one part I think you might want me to edit. I think it's a part where you were saying that you were almost offered a recording contract by Nickelback. I don't know if I would admit that publicly. The other guy, yeah.
You know what? It's funny that they have like there's 3 songs they have that are absolutely fucking killer. Love them, gets me revved up. And actually they're from my home. They're from my home province in Canada, which is interesting.
Alberta.
But yeah, from Alberta. But I don't know. I mean, they were the biggest. Like I said, there's 3 songs that I like only. But I mean, they were the biggest band in the world for a fucking reason. Love them or hate them.
Marketing. And speaking of marketing, you know what Radiohead just did? Radiohead deleted all of their social media presence. Like the Facebook page, Twitter's all up there. They deleted every single post. So you know what's happening? Everybody's talking about them. I guarantee you they got a new record coming out. Guarantee you.
Fucking rights they do. They're always very smart with the social stuff. That's very cool. Interesting.
So we got everything covered. Mitch Miller, Canadian expat now living in Thailand. Let's see. Yep. Grab this book. You need to grab this book too. Awesome book. Actually, one last thing I was actually going to mention. Got all this stuff sitting around here. Have you ever heard of the Igor Ledochowski? You might have heard him. He does like conversational hypnosis, whatnot. His marketing guy is really good. This product, Beyond Self-Hypnosis, is good for, it's a huge 18 DVD set. I've used it for modeling. It's actually giving me visualizations that are so lifelike to where I had one where I found myself like jumping over a canyon. I scared the shit out of myself. I jumped out of my chair. That's when I realized, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to die. I've used this bad boy specifically to start modeling Gary Halbert, where I had Gary Halbert like give me a skin suit of him, which sounds kind of weird, but hey, it's very weird.
That's really cool. So when do you expect your work to be done with modeling him and whatnot?
Gary Halbert, it's going to take minutes. I'm going through his newsletter now, and then I'm going to go. I'm thinking about maybe writing out his boron letters, because I want to write out his boron letters so you have that similar thing going on when you want to write a sales letter from prison. I want to of writing to Bond. So a couple months maybe.
Cool, man.
I don't know if my girlfriend will be able to deal with me after I become if I model him and get that aggrandized, whatever that word is.
Aggrandizement.
Aggrandizement. That's it. Put myself on a pedestal. So in a couple months, I'll keep you posted.
Awesome, man. That's exciting.
So opposemedia.com.
Opposemediablog.com.
Opposemediablog.com.
Yeah.
Check them out. I'll have a link somewhere around here above the video, wherever the hell, whatever's convenient for me. Any last words? Or better yet, you seem like a fairly humorous guy. Give us your favorite joke.
Oh fuck. So my favorite joke is the guy who does a podcast with you and then wants you to pull a joke out of your ass the last second and then expect you to come up with something funny. It's almost impossible to be funny when you're put on the spot to.
Exactly.
I'll leave it at this. You're a dick, but I love you.
I love that. Yeah, the last time I did that, I had a Canadian hypnotist. He did his version of The Aristocrats. I'll send you the link later.
Oh, no. I'd rather not. Well, how about this? What's the hardest part about eating a vegetable?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
The wheelchair.
Oh, you're an asshole. I've heard that one. Or I got one. This one's really bad. I'm going to go to hell for this. What did the leper say to the prostitute? Keep the tip.
Yeah, nice.
Humor. Yeah, so sometime you gotta. I want to come out to Thailand sometime, and you gotta come out to Kauai again sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm going to we got a lot of shit going on, but I think I'll be back in Canada maybe July or August, and then I'll be in Vancouver area. So it might make sense. Maybe I'll just swing my parents out to Hawaii too, because I'm bringing them to Thailand here at the end of the year. But I'll be in that area in the summer, so it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, let me know. I'm actually going to be in Vegas at a hypnosis conference in August, so just let me know if you're coming out. If not, I'm always here.
Cool,
man. Everybody, Thanks for my whole audience of 10, 20 people. Thank you for tuning in. Check out all his stuff, and I will catch everybody on the flip side.
Peace, everybody.
Aloha.